Bienvenidos a todos desde el norte hasta el sur de México, Latinoamérica, por supuesto Europa, sé que España nos está acompañando, gente maravillosa de España, gente maravillosa de Guatemala y por supuesto mi México lindo. Permítanme un momento, voy a cerrar mi imagen y mi audio. Denme 2 minutitos más para confirmar que la doctora pueda estar viva y que esté bien debido a los desastres naturales que están en Alemania. Un momento, por favor.
Yes. Now, do you understand me?
Hi, doctor.
Yes.
Dr. Karin, thank you very much. I was so worried for you. We know that you don't have a good weather in Germany, right?
Yes, it's hot.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here. Okay. I don't speak English very well. Let me tell you something. This is the truth. I don't speak English well. So I have my coworker, Horacio Vallardo from Homeopathic Company, who will help me to understand this interview that we have. It's a pleasure, really, really, doctor. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure for me.
Thank you. Horacio, si me escuchas, sería un placer escucharte, Horacio, también.
So it was a bit difficult to meet you now.
I know.
Yes.
I know. I was so worried. I have some friends in Baden-Baden, in Munich, and Holland, and I don't know how to pronounce the other city, but I know this is a really complicated weather in Germany right now.
Oh, we have nice weather. It's dry and no rain, so it's good.
Okay, hold on a second, doctor, please.
What?
Mi compañero de soporte técnico me ayudaría a quitarle el mute a Homeopathic Service, a Homeopathic Company, por favor. Homeopathic Company, por favor. Gracias. Horacio, ¿ya te escuchamos?
Sí, hola, hello.
Hello.
Doctora Karin, el licenciado Horacio Vallardo nos estará ayudando con la interpretación.
Hi, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, Dr. Karin Lenger. I will be assisting in any translation, interpretation that is needed for this session. It's a pleasure to meet you, and hi, Karin and everyone. I'm really excited for today, so I'll be here.
Bueno.
If any interpretation is needed.
Yes, of course.
Gracias. Bueno, pues inicio yo con la sesión. Les agradezco muchísimo nuevamente a todos los participantes que estamos aquí. Tengo, doctora, déjeme compartirle, tengo a homeópatas de todo México, tengo gente de Guatemala, tengo gente de España y estoy súper feliz porque podemos estar en contacto y conocer ampliamente la trayectoria que ha desarrollado para la homeopatía a nivel internacional. Les doy la bienvenida a todos, agradeciéndoles, por supuesto, que estén acompañándome. Horacio, si le puedes comentar a la doctora, por favor.
Sure. Okay. No entendía cómo vamos a trabajar. ¿Quieres que pongo el video? No sé si esto va a afectar a la grabación porque se está grabando, ¿no? No sé si...
Tú deja el video, no te preocupes.
Sí,
sí,
okay.
Deja tu video abierto. Para mí es muy importante que conozcan,
Está hablando.
que te conozcan, Horacio,
Okay.
y que sepan que estamos contando con tu apoyo, por supuesto.
Okay. Yeah, so yes, she's... Karin says... it's funny, you both have the same name, but yours is in German. Dr. Lenger's Karin, but in Deutsch and German. And Karin, she's the Spanish version. But yes, she's very excited. There's a lot of homeopaths from all over the world, people from Guatemala, from Spain. There's a lot of homeopaths from Mexico tuning into this great opportunity to have a conversation. And she's, I think that's where I left at. I think that's all she said in this day, in summary.
Gracias. Gracias, Horacio. Sí, les doy, tengo a personas aquí. Bueno, me gustaría hacerles saber a la doctora Karin que voy a dar ahorita su currículo rápidamente. No nos va a llevar mucho tiempo porque es un currículo impresionante y quiero que todos conozcan. Quiero que todos conozcan la personalidad y personaje que tenemos el día de hoy, que es un parteaguas en la homeopatía avanzada. Y que, híjole, hay tanto que aprenderle a la doctora. Entonces, tengo personas, les voy a contar un poquito.
So you have a lot of questions, I think so.
Ok. Horacio, ¿tú le podrías decir? Voy a decir un poquito aquí lo de su currículo.
Okay.
Para que no se preocupe por si no entiende en este momento, porque me voy a ir rapidito.
Okay, Dr. Lenger, Karin is going to present or give some information about your trajectory, right? Your professional trajectory, a little a summary of the research that you've done, so that you're not so concerned whether the communication at this point of the presentation, she's going to be explaining much of the information for the great majority of the Spanish speakers, which is a great load of them. And so, yeah, there's a lot of questions, but they will probably happen after she gives everyone a presentation on your work and your involvement in homeopathy and the research that you've done in this area.
Yes, I will try it and you will translate, yes?
Yes, I will translate, yes.
Bien,
So,
les quiero...
So I will start because time is precious. And yes, I'm a biochemist and I did my research at the University in Lübeck. And I studied biochemistry at the old famous University Tübingen. Do you know it? It's in the south of Germany. And after I had finished my university job, I did research there with enzymes and carcinoma and so on. I came to DHU, that's the oldest homeopathic factory in Germany. Mm-hmm. So I learned there homeopathy. Yes, and then I made seminars or performed seminars in homeopathy in whole Germany, in front of pharmacists, in front of simple people, in front of, other interested people in homeopathy. But I never forgot my research. And I told to me, why can I do homeopathy with remedies, without any molecule? Okay, that was always my question. And I met a friend, an engineer, and we talked and talked. And once that engineer, he's a co-author in one of my publications, he proposed that we should go to Munich, there to the industry region of Munich, and there was a seminar about Tesla coils. I never heard this. And Professor Meil wanted to gain neutrinos, energy, that a machine can work. Okay? And I saw these Tesla coils. I was standing in front of them and I told, yes, that may be the device to show what is in homeopathic remedies. That was my idea. And they all scolded against me. Yes, we tried it again and again, but I did not stop my ideas, because before of this meeting in Munich, this engineer, Manfred Spielmann, he is called, we talked about Pop's theory, quantum physicist Pop, that homeopathy must be an energy, okay? And so I asked the owner of the factory in Munich, it was Electronic Schwille, that factory, and the owner allowed me to test my homeopathic remedies with these Tesla flat coils. You have it on your website. And there was another man, it was Joseph Ambusch, who had a frequency analyzer and antennas. And that is important. And in that factory, there was a huge Faraday cage, and Joseph Ambusch and I, we went into that cage, and yes, and we tried our research there. It was difficult because I thought that must be a resonance with the remedies. And that was a question, a hard question. I could not try 2,000 remedies with that machine because Joseph had no time. It was a weekend. Yes. And we tried, and he said, no, we must take a magnetic loop antenna. I have one. We had no, with electric antennas, we had no result. And he built up his loop antenna, this round thing. And now we must have the remedies which will work with that input frequency. That was 6.9 megahertz. And now was a question, which remedy has this frequency? That was an assumption, because all the people nearby me, my friends, would scold against me when I said this. And my colleague Manfred had an idea, and we tried to, we took a biotensor.
Okay. Horacio, can you help me to translate what doctor said, please? No se escucha. ¿Me pueden abrir el audio, por favor?
We took a biotensor, yes. And so we got some remedies which have, I hoped, the frequency of the Tesla coil, because we, Manfred and I, and Joseph Ambusch too, we assumed that we must do it by resonance. Yes. And so the machine must have the same frequency as a proved remedy. And so we got some by our pendling, or what is it? Dumpling? No. Dumpling may be in English. A pendle, like a biotensor or something like this.
Biotensor. Yeah, yes. Biotensor. That's the word in Spanish. I will be translating.
Okay. Okay. Well, so, but it's not allowed in a scientific work. Yes, but we must have these remedies with the frequency of the Tesla coil. And later on, we had 2.6 megahertz, and we measured, did the same thing to get the remedies with that frequency. And then Joseph Ambusch measured it, and we got only a signal with a magnetic loop antenna. So we all were astonished about this result. Yes, and then Joseph said, I have little antennas. We can measure out the electric field and the magnetic field on the second Tesla coil. Okay? The Tesla coils, there are both two coils separated by air, and the one below the second, the frequency was given from the generator. Yes? And then Faraday induction is working then, and I measured the second coil by an electro antenna and by a magnetic antenna. And it was a surprising result because the magnetic field was exactly separated from the electric field. The magnetic field was outside the second coil, and when we put into this magnetic field the remedies with that measured frequency by, yes, then we got a resonance effect. And this was astonishing for us, and it was a completely new one. Mm-hmm. And later on, when I wrote into my publications, I detected magnetic photons. The physicists on the world said, no, that's not possible. They don't exist. Yeah. But now in the CERN Institute in Geneva, the Large Hadron Collider had measured the magnetic photons and magnetic monopoles since 2016. Okay, so I do it forward so that we can understand it. Now it was resonance, the resonance effect. It was only measured by, the remedies were only measured by magnetic resonance, not by electric resonance, by magnetic resonance. And this is completely new. The first remedies were argentometallicum and cantaris in very, very high potencies, cm. Mm-hmm. Do you know these potencies?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very high.
Yeah, and I mean, in mathematical terms, I mean, I know that if you try and do that in classical, Dr. Lenger, I'm sorry to suddenly go back in time, yes. But a lot of the listeners here are requesting a translation. So this is the first time I ever participate in a live translation interpretation, you know, from English to any language. And so I was kind of hoping that we, at this point, we can, let's say that when you were going to finish a sentence, you can just...
yes, please give your translation. So I'm waiting.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you very much, doctora. Thank you.
It's a lot of information.
Sí, es muchísima información. Déjenme compartirles el agasajo que es tenerla. La doctora es la creadora de la homeopatía bioquímica y trabaja exclusivamente con potencias muy, muy altas. No estamos hablando de potencias 50 milesimal. Estamos hablando de cuatrillones, quinzallones, etcétera. Porque este estudio probado y colocado en las principales revistas médico o médicas europeas tiene los principales antecedentes para darle la base a la homeopatía como una medicina energética. Ella lo que ha creado es, ella ha creado el experimento con unas jaulas de Faraday en donde ha medido ciertos medicamentos inosodes a través de magnetos, donde ha podido comprobar que a un nivel más alto de potencia, ya no queda un solo elemento del remedio que están midiendo, sino que quedan fotones de energía. Nos estaba ella explicando precisamente cómo fue que nace su idea de crear este estudio, que es un estudio comprobado, no solamente en un solo remedio, sino en varios. Y que ella lo ha llamado a este estudio y a su práctica médica, es homeopatía por vías bioquímicas, perdón. Es demasiada información. Platícanos, Horacio, lo que nos estaba ella comentando, por favor.
Sí. So I will translate the best I can to Spanish, and I will ask you some questions, Dr. Lenger, if I missed, because you basically summarized years of your research in 10 minutes. La doctora está mencionando que ella estaba, pues mencionó un poco sobre su trayectoria, en dónde estudió. Estuvo dando seminarios en Alemania para personas normales, para farmacias también, pero ella quería seguir con su investigación, porque ella quería responder a la pregunta de qué es lo que está dentro de un remedio homeopático si ya no quedan pues, moléculas. Y ella conoció a alguien, un amigo de ella que es un ingeniero. Professor Dr. Lenger, what is the name of the engineer you first mentioned who proposed to go to Munich?
That was Manfred Spielmann.
Okay, Manfred?
Spielmann.
Spielmann, okay. Okay,
Spiel,
that's
a play. Play, Spielmann.
Oh,
but
okay.
The important one, that was Professor Popp, who always told, he tried to find out what homeopathy is, but he couldn't. He worked with too low potencies, okay? And Professor Popp always told that homeopathic remedies must work perhaps in long waves in the megahertz region. And then when I had my publication, yes, and then I went to Popp, and he allowed me to work with his photomultiplier. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I told I have found what you said, but the jump had to be made by him, by a quantum physicist, that he knew also that the magnetic photons do not exist, but the trials were good, and we did more than 50 trials at the end 600 by the Tesla coils, and it was reproducible.
Okay.
And when I needed the photomultiplier, and I did the resonance frequency by a generator to that photomultiplier, then we got results. And with both methods, with Tesla coils and with a photomultiplier, I could measure the potency levels. Okay.
Back and forth.
Yes, it's very important. And in the public, you had a publication, of course. The Tesla coils can measure from 2 DC 200 till CMF, Korsakovian potencies, all between. There is a table in the publication.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. So I will explain this a little bit further. Well, okay. La doctora está diciendo que trabajó con Hoff, que es un am I saying that right? Hoff, H-O-F-F, ¿no? Okay. Bueno, voy a voy a ser muy corto porque la doctora, la verdad, sí está entrando en muchas cosas técnicas muy específicas que están publicadas. De hecho, no sé si Lorena las va a ahorita mostrar en algunas diapositivas, no estoy seguro. Pero la doctora lo que está explicando es que ella cómo pudo hacer mediciones tanto con unos Tesla coils y también con unos, no sé si le entendí bien, pero es con fotones, con un foto. Dr. Lenger, what is the name of
the professor, you mean?
No, your measurement, your instruments of measurements. It was Tesla coils, and then what else?
Delayed luminescence using a photomultiplier.
Oh, okay, delayed luminescence.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain that. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that's quite the word for anybody, even if you're familiar with scientific methods of measuring. Engineering. Entonces utilizó dos métodos para hacer las mediciones en varios de sus medicamentos homeopáticos en potencias altas. Utilizó, ya mencioné un Tesla coil y otro que le llama luminiscencia retardada.
Luminiscencia retardada, sí,
Retardada,
es correcto.
Luminiscencia retardada. ¿Qué más? Oh, hay mucho. No, pues sí, de hecho, eso fue, en resumen, lo volvió a repetir la doctora. Estuve haciendo anotaciones y lo que ella dice que quería lograr es de que encontrar la resonancia entre lo que ella hacía con un método de medición y el otro, porque uno de los profesores decía que fotones magnéticos no podían, no son o no podían ser, pero ella dice que debía de haber algo, y donde ella, la doctora Lenger, ya menciona que hay un rango del espectro ella nos dice que son 6.9 megahertz, creo, en donde lo utilizó ella para medir, pues, y corroborar. ¿Sabes qué? Lo estoy haciendo con dos métodos, con los dos me está dando el efecto de resonancia, así le llama la doctora Lenger, resonance effect, a través de resonancia magnética. Y pues sí, hasta ahorita eso es lo que la doctora ha mencionado.
Continúe, doctora. Please continue.
Yes. The next thing was that I could measure a frequency spectra by the Tesla coils.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought if there is an energy in the homeopathic remedies, and these are the magnetic photons, so I must get a spectrum, of course. Mm-hmm. If you have photons, you must have a spectrum. But how to measure? And then I thought, and then we had only 2 Tesla coils. Yes, mm-hmm. We can put the frequency of nearly 6.9 megahertz. Mm-hmm. That was a smaller Tesla coil, and we had a greater one doing 2.06 megahertz. And to cut a long story short, I detected that Argentum metallicum can be measured also at 2.06 megahertz. Photons with more spectra than only one. In America, in USA, I asked Bill Tiller, you know him perhaps, Stanford University. I met him and I asked him, is it probably that one photon has more frequency spectra? And he said, he's a very tall man. He said, yes, that's possible.
Pause right there. Pause.
Yes, but yeah, and we had only that was a play in Munich for Schwille and for Josef Ambrusch to play with his Tesla coils.
Mm-hmm.
They had only 2 and no more.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing must be developed so that we small or bigger, yes,
Mm-hmm.
like a pyramid, must be built up so that we can measure the frequencies of more remedies. Okay.
Okay.
So another thing is in the publication you can see the resonance effect. There is a drawing, a table. And if Cantaris and Argentum metallicum had the resonance effect, but not the remedies who have not this frequency of 6.9. They had a 0 value, okay? You cannot measure arnica at 6.9 megahertz, yes?
Okay.
And we had I tried capsicum, and so all the remedies which have no frequency at this point at 6.9 megahertz did not work. They show the reference values of the empty Saccharose globuli, okay? And so with delayed luminescence, Michael Drechsel, who worked with me, who once he had an error, and he did take another frequency for Cantaris, 2.006 megahertz. And so he had no measurement, okay? No measurement. You must have exactly the frequency and you must measure it.
Okay.
By this frequency which the remedies have.
Okay. Well, I will translate. La doctora, bueno, nos cuenta un poco más sobre su publicación, que lo que ella quería hacer es, lo siguiente que ella quería hacer es medir las frecuencias a través de los Tesla coils, porque ella seguía insistiendo con que debe de haber la energía, algo que se permanezca en los remedios, y que debe haber un espectro donde eso se pueda a medir. Y la doctora dice, pues estuvo pensando, y después, porque ellos solamente tenían dos tipos de coils, uno de 6.9 y otro de 2.6 megahertz. Cuando intentaron medir Cantaris, en 6.9 megahertz no lo pudieron medir, pero cuando utilizaron, perdón, me brinqué una parte. Ella le preguntó a un, no sé si es no sé cuál es, Dr. Lenger, what is the name of the, this US, is he an engineer?
The US quantum physicist, William Tiller.
William?
From Stanford, yes, William Tiller or Bill Tiller.
Bill Tiller,
yes.
okay, William Tiller.
From Stanford University.
From Stanford University, okay, thank you. Así es, gracias Ramiro. Sí, cometí un error. 2.06, no 2.6, gracias. Le preguntó a William Tiller que si había la posibilidad de que en un solo fotón hubieran el espectro de más frecuencias, y él le dijo que sí. Entonces es por eso que la doctora y en sus experimentos volvieron a hacer con la técnica de la luminiscencia retardada para determinar que Cantaris sí se podía detectar. en el rango de 2.06 megahercios. Y pues ya.
So you are ready?
Yes,
I
yes, we are
continue.
ready. Please.
So I continue. And so I detected a lot of foreign things which are not known really in the normal world. And we had in Popp's Institute the homeopathic potency levels are detected by a formula, which a quantum formula that's written in the other publication, which Professor Popp and Professor Bajpai, who is on my is co-author, developed from the Hamiltonian equation. That's a very famous equation in quantum physics. Yes.
Okay.
And so the potency levels are measured by a B2 value of that formula. And if you have low potencies, you have low number of these B2 values. And if you have high potencies, so you have high numbers. And in my publication, Identification of Unknown Remedies, you can see a curve from 100,000 to 1 million. Between them are several argentometallicums in different potencies. And this is nearly an equilibrium. This is a standard curve, perhaps for measuring, yes, foreign unknown potency levels, because you must measure the B2 value and to compare it with that curve, and you can determine the potency level of this remedy, unknown remedy. In the Tesla coil system works a little in another way to measure the potency levels. This is, I had to enhance the voltage.
Oh, okay.
Slowly, if I want to measure the potency. And just when the voltage, the electric field in this case, was high enough to separate the photons from the saccharose globally. This is the point there by measuring the remedies by Tesla coils. Okay, is it the point of separation if you enhance the electric field by voltage?
By voltage, okay.
Softly, please, softly, because we are working in a big Faraday cage, and without it, it's not possible. Yes, all the frequency outside will disturb these measurements.
Okay.
Okay, the points, the two measurements are different. Okay, so that's that is what I wanted to say. So you asked me resonance, and now I must tell you the idea and the model of Popp, of the quantum physicist Popp. He is a follower of the Nobel laureate Herbert Fröhlich. Okay.
Okay.
And of course now Einstein is also in this group. When I now want to tell you something, the model of Popp. And Popp said, Einstein and all these said that each matter on Earth is an electromagnetic wave package. Okay, that's the first you must know. Yes. we are all electromagnetic wave packages. So, and now Pop said, okay, a healthy person has a distinct electromagnetic wave package with frequencies belonging to a healthy person. Okay? And then Pop said, yes, a sick person has either more photons uptaken of the environment, perhaps stress was the cause of it, or photons are emitted. So that the result is that a sick person has not the frequency pattern of a normal person. Okay? And now it's my turn. And I said, okay, the homeopathic remedies having the same frequency as the foreign sick-making frequencies of the patient, yes, that's a similar remedy, of course. You know this.
Yes.
Will now cancel the foreign frequencies of this patient by resonance effect. This is my invention. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the lacking photons, also the remedies with these magnetic photons can fulfill the lacking photons till the normal frequency pattern of the patient is arrived. And then the biochemical pathway will regulate it to normal biochemical pathways. This is, I think, in short, what you wanted to know.
Yes. that's the pinnacle, right? That's the cornerstone of your research. That's what ultimately, I guess you knew this all along, but you wanted to understand it better. I will translate a little bit of this because it's a lot of information, and it's very technical. La doctora está comentando, thank you for this. I will now translate to Spanish.
Yes, of course.
Está explicando, todo esto está publicado en los documentos de su... ¿Quieres comentar algo, Lorena? Karen?
Me gustaría mucho escuchar de tu interpretación lo que nos ha dicho la doctora. Lo que sí me gustaría también agregar es todas las investigaciones que la doctora ha realizado están documentadas. Ella me hizo el favor de enviarme algunos documentos y que si ella me autoriza, por supuesto yo se los podría compartir para que ustedes revisen esta información. Y bueno, seguir disfrutando, sobre todo preguntarle a la doctora cuánto tiempo le llevó realizar este estudio con jaula de Faraday y bobinas Tesla.
Ok. Ahorita le preguntaré, pero en esencia y haciendo una interpretación de lo que la doctora comentó, con muchos de ustedes que están en el campo, ustedes saben que bueno, la doctora habla sobre cómo hay una fórmula muy famosa, muy conocida. La verdad, sí, no nomás esa, mencioné otra en homeopatía, para cómo determinar potencias bajas y potencias bajas, perdón, potencias altas y potencias bajas. Y ella dice que con el sistema con las Tesla coils funciona diferente, porque dice que tenía que ellas, cuando estaban dentro de la jaula de Faraday, supongo que es una cámara grande para que puedan estar personas ahí y que no haya interferencia de nada más que el equipo el eléctrico que electrónico que estaban utilizando durante sus experimentos, y cómo tenían lentamente que ajustar el voltaje para poder, a través del efecto de la resonancia, determinar, ¿sabes qué? Es esta potencia. Y después ella comentó sobre sus conversaciones que tuvo con, gracias, voltajes elevados. Unas conversaciones que tuvo con Huff y con otras personas más sobre ahora sí que la realización a la que llegaron, ¿no? Que todos somos, todos y toda la materia, somos paquetes de ondas magnéticas que tienen una configuración específica y que cuando una persona está sana, tiene cierta paquetes de información que cuando alguien toma un medicamento homeopático, le está como supliendo eso que le falta, ¿sí? Fotones información a nivel fotónica que le hagan falta o que carezca, para que regrese a un estado de salud normal y que ese es como ese es el enlace a los procesos bioquímicos que es lo que a la doctora le interesaba. Y ahorita le voy a hacer una pregunta a la doctora. Dr. Lenger, what is the time or around, or what's the length of time that it took you for this investigation to take place, and how much time or?
Yes, I started in 2003.
Okay.
And then I had to write the publication. It was difficult for me because the nomenclature was quantum physically and quantum physics and electromagnetic. And I was used to working with enzymes at the university and not with quantum effects. Okay, that was so difficult. So I wrote this publication with some helps me, and then it was printed in 2006. Okay, and I sent this publication to Professor Popp because I knew this. I knew that Professor Popp had worked in research for homeopathic remedies, but this led to his dismission at the University of Marburg because he worked with homeopathic remedies. It was forbidden in Marburg. Okay, then he went to another university, and then he never take homeopathy into his mouth till I came, and he wanted to make publications and so on. But I made this publication together with Professor Bajpe. The institute was closed 2010, and because Popp got dementia.
Okay.
And so the photomultiplier are elsewhere. I don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And in Munich, the problem is that Werner Schwille and Josef Ambrosch hoped that someone will pick up our research and to continue it, because it is very important. And Josef always told me, I know what we have detected, magnetic photons. Yes, but nobody came and nobody was interested because the homeopaths are against it. But that doesn't matter, and I sat on the natural scientists, and that was a good idea for me. So my publications are spread over the whole world.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that the natural scientists acknowledge my work and not the homeopaths. They don't, they don't understand the quantum physics and all the methods. Yes. So if you want to translate.
Yes, yes, I do. Ok, pues sí, como tú escuchaste, bueno, como todos escucharon, la doctora empezó en el 2003 a hacer la publicación y la verdad no le pregunté, bueno, eso fue cuando hice la publicación, pero no me respondió la pregunta de cuánto tiempo tardó para hacer su trabajo de investigación. Pero en el 2003, supongo que haber sido antes de eso, para ya haberlo publicado en el 2003. No más que ella, como estaba trabajando con enzimas, trabajo con enzimas, inmediatamente no fue hasta el 2006 cuando ella le envió su trabajo al este profesor Hoff, y él le comentó que pues deberían de compartir lo que ellos habían encontrado, y de hecho, pues yo supongo que eso responde a la pregunta o a lo que tú habías comentado hace un momento, Karen, de compartirles a los demás el trabajo de la doctora, ¿no? Porque pues yo creo que ella lo quiere divulgar para que muchas personas sepan de esto y lo continúen, que es más probable es muy probable que nosotros también como empresa desarrollemos quizás un método más para dar una demostración puntual y más entendible para personas que no entienden cómo funciona, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando, ¿no? Y la doctora, ella dice que no, quizás no nomás que le reconozcan a ella a ella, sino al trabajo que ella hizo, que es lo más importante y lo que yo pienso que se debe de rescatar.
Claro.
Okay. And Werner Schwille and Josef Ambrusch said, no, we do not want any trials with Tesla coils because nobody will listen to us and hear us. And now we have only these 2 coils. We must have a lot of them to measure the frequencies. Yes. And I tried to make a proposal at the EU, yes, for $3 million, but the reviewers do not understand that. It was too early. I had only 1 publication. Yeah. Yes, and now the next is, what is homeopathy? A homeopath does an anamnesis. I look to the laboratory values and look for the pathological pathways. And I have a practice in Offenbach for homeopathy. And then one day I bought all the remedies for a distinct pathway. And it was the sugar pathway. And I got a lot, phosphorus and so on. And I tried, some of my patients can feel it, the remedies, if they need it. And then I tried, and this patient in front of me did feel and did need all the remedies belonging to the sugar pathway. That was, I could not believe it, yes? And now I had a lot of these things, and my publications I sent to you, you can read it. And then I was very astonished. I thought, that it is? And then I tried always to give to my patients the substrates in high potencies, or the inhibitors of the pathways, or the enzymes which I could buy. Yes, in very high Korsakovian potencies. And the lab values became nearly normal. And they were healthy. So I must go back to Hahnemann. You know Hahnemann, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
And Hahnemann, he did not know what he did. He did not know biochemistry or toxicology because he poisoned the people in his environment, his children and all them. And what he did, these were toxicological trials. He poisoned distinct pathways, biochemical pathways. Yes, by poisoning. And now the homeopathic remedies of this pathway can heal this pathway, this pathological pathway. And homeopathy, yes, of course, I know you make a repertorization and all these things. I do the same because the symptoms help me to see which biochemical pathway is disturbed. Yes, and the lab values, of course. I do both, and it helps to heal the patient. And this is a very, very nice thing. And homeopathy is biochemistry and toxicology, but the homeopath, I don't know. And this is a way you can find out the right remedy, the correct remedy, the similar remedy by repertorization and all these things and anamnesis. And if you can look onto the lab values, then you can use the remedies from the pathological pathways. Okay.
Perspective. Yeah. Okay, I will translate now. That's quite the amount of information. Pues de eso último, los que sí saben un poco inglés, la doctora habló sobre qué es la homeopatía, ¿no? En su experiencia y cómo la une ella a través de la toxicología y la bioquímica. Y pues sin dar muchas explicaciones, ustedes saben, ella hace lo mismo que muchos, que todos homeópatas, que hacen una repertorización para que los síntomas le ayuden a encontrar cuál es lo que la doctora llama un canal patológico, que es en el cual se encuentra la persona que va a sonar. Okay. Dr. Lenger, this is an unusual request, but could you step away slightly from the screen so people can see your facial expressions and read slightly your lips? I guess that's it.
A little higher.
That's it. Thank you.
Yes, I was sitting. Now it's better.
Okay, thank you. No, but we can hear you fine. We can hear you fine even if you step away. Bueno, I will continue. Y bueno, para terminar, lo que estaba comentando la doctora es que, pues, Müller y Joseph, pues, le estaba comentando que no querían, que nadie los escucharía porque estaban utilizando coils de Tesla. Y pues ocupan muchos más para medir muchas otras frecuencias que al final de cuentas son las potencias, ¿no? De los diferentes remedios homeopáticos para poderlas dar un valor dentro de un espectro pues entendible y medible. Y pues sí, eso es en resumen lo que la doctora estaba comentando, ¿no? Ya no sé si va a comentar algo más, pero creo que a esto iba a llegar la charla.
Así es, perdón, así es, Horacio. Estamos ya casi por cerrar, estamos a 1 minuto de cerrar esta hora. Sabemos que es cansado para la doctora estar en la transmisión, sobre todo por el desfase de horarios, aunque ellos no están muy tarde. Nosotros estamos a mediodía y sabemos el clima difícil que está por allá. Doctora, a mí me gustaría mucho que nos compartiera este objetivo principal que yo leí en uno de sus estudios y en su currícula, donde nos comparte esa parte de promover la homeopatía con esta base que se menciona, que es de la vía patológica. Podemos entonces confiar en que los remedios en superpotencias o en muy altas potencias llegan a un nivel mucho más profundo para el paciente.
Ok, le traduciré.
Por favor.
Okay, Dr. Lenger, we are at the point where this wonderful and very interesting interview and a great chat has come to an end. But Karin wants to ask you one thing. If you could please share with us what you've also perhaps, I think you wrote down in one of the main goal about promoting homeopathy based in pathological pathways, and if indeed high potency remedies reach farther than lower
yes.
potencies.
Yes, of course. If you have an ill person or a sick person in a chronic disease, you cannot give low potencies. That does not work, because higher potencies have more energy and more photons. So then you can heal a chronic disease, perhaps. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And I try, if I can do it, I had here abstract. Yes. Do you see it?
No. ¿Me pueden ayudar? Si gusta compartir, if you can share your computer to us, we can see it. And I have a great team.
Chat? Because I tried date, yes, Datei. Computer. Then now I know.
You can share.
Yes, I will try
Okay,
it.
okay, thank you.
I will try it. I hope I can do it.
Sure.
Wait. Seagate, documents, yes. No? There's
No,
nothing.
we cannot see it.
No?
No.
Documents. Now I am on documents. Then I will go to T.
If you want to show us one of the documents that you sent me in the email, I can share to the people. Just tell me which one.
Try this. Try this. Do you see it?
Oh yes, there it is.
Where is it?
Homeopathic efficiency
Yes.
according to the physical resonance principle.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have it?
That's
It's in the chat. Está en el chat para todas las personas que están ahorita.
Thank you very much, doctora.
Thank you very much. Gracias, Fundación Médica Homeopática. Sí, la doctora compartió su archivo con todos nosotros, un archivo Word. Okay.
Yes,
Ahí
now,
está.
yes, that it is. Yesterday, this is a conclusion of my speech today.
Okay.
And it's done as an abstract. Yes, and for all things you ask me, I have written in a short form that something, yes, that you can read it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and if you have questions, you can mail me or so on. Yes?
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor.
Das ist doch gut. That's very good for you.
Definitely.
If you want to understand it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
There are two pages. It must be. Oh yes, I scroll it down.
Mhm.
On here, 7 points.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
So you can have it and you can read it, and there's my name on it, so it's copyright.
Of course, Dr. Lenger. We will always cite your work. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you
So
very much.
you can try and give me some questions or so on.
Yes. Thank you.
Dr. Karin, I would like to ask you if you want to give us a seminar for Mexico, for Latin America, to
Yes.
our homeopaths that they really want to know. They really want to know and learn more about photons and high potencies to use in different pathologies. I want to say that I'm so happy, in my English, I'm so happy that we can keep in touch, and I hope to have more news to our community, to Mexican community, and then I can see that we have people from Guatemala and people from Spain. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here to share your time. And I don't say goodbye. I say see you later in the next
I hope so.
Moment.
It was so nice with you. Yes, it was so nice to talk with you.
And I hope to see you. I hope to see you here in Mexico. I hope soon in this
hope so.
In this new normality.
Since years I wanted to go to Mexico and to visit Mexico. And once when I had gone to a conference near Dallas.
Okay.
No, near Denver.
Denver.
Denver. It was by ICEM, that's a society who invited me. I wanted to go on my back flight to Mexico and to see all the Aztecan and the temples and so on. But
it would be nice.
It would be very, very nice.
Very nice.
And I could not do it. And there was no rely that there was a group. The condition was a bigger group for that, so, but it doesn't happen in that way. So I had to go back to Frankfurt. Yes.
Okay.
And I read all the things about Mexico and about Maya and about all these things, but I could not go to it.
Okay.
So I will do it if it works.
Okay.
Thank you very much. ¿Nos podrías traducir?
Sí, en breve. Sí, la
Gracias,
doctora,
perdón.
Sí, amnionic. Sí, la doctora comenta que ya una vez, I will translate, Dr. Lenger. Comenta la doctora que ya fue a una conferencia en Denver y que quería tomar una excursión, como una especie de una guía turística, no sé, porque comentó que el grupo no se concretó, eran muy pocas personas, y pero que sí ya había leído sobre el desarrollo de la civilización de los mayas y los aztecas, y que quería venir, pero pues que no se pudo, se tuvo que regresar a Frankfurt, y pero que sí, que espera que pues pronto, o bueno, en algún entonces venir y visitar acá estas tierras.
Muchas gracias. Dr. Lenger, thank you very much for being here again. Y I need to say something in Spanish. A todos los participantes, por favor, los documentos las investigaciones de la doctora Karin, incluida la del 2021, enero del 2021, con muchísimo gusto. Se los voy a hacer llegar a sus correos electrónicos. Por favor, recuerden que son estudios de la doctora Karin Lenger y siempre hay que, todas las partes que se tomen de ellos deberán estar titulados con el nombre de la institución y el nombre de la doctora Karin, por favor. Sí, no usen fotocopias. Don't
Yes.
photocopy the studies. I will send the studies that you send me by email. And see you soon. See you soon, doctor.
Thank you very much for this nice meeting.
We
Goodbye.
have some Guadalupe Melen can speak in your language, and some people say welcome anywhere you want to be here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but there are some people that saying thank you very much, doctor, for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you very much.
Gracias a todos. Horacio, gracias. Y perdón, vamos a tener una siguiente videoconferencia a finales del día 30 de julio. Ya les enviaré las invitaciones. El siguiente mes tendremos el siguiente invitado y por supuesto esperemos tener en corto plazo a la doctora Karin Lenger, los bloopers de las grabaciones que les cuento. Esperemos tener pronto a la doctora Karin Lenger en un seminario para México. Gracias a todos.
Thank you very much and goodbye. We have now evening. And you have, yes, the
midday
the of the day.
Yes. Of the day.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
Yeah. Goodbye.